Welcome back to another video. Today I am discussing Hashirama Sage mode. Now, as we know, Hashirama Sage mode is entirely a mystery. Now, I've read recent chapters and have looked at many different things in terms of his markings. Now, originally, at least in one of my older videos, I've said Hashirama could be a byproduct of a monkey sage. Mostly, we don't know if monkey sages existed. Also, we know there are two locations to become a sage mode. I have Mount Miyamoto, where you can become a frog sage, and or a snake sage, but that I'll explain that in a different video that I'm recording after this video. So I don't know which one you'll see first. Anyway, between those two, Hashirama doesn't have the features of a snake sage, and he doesn't have the markings of a toad sage. As we know, they have the red marks at the bottom. We could see that consistent with Minato sage mode, Jiraiya sage mode, even though Jiraiya is a little bit different, and Naruto sage mode. So Naruto and Minato sage mode is quite different because they're perfect sages, while Hashirama is a perfect sage entirely. You can't tell me he's not a perfect sage. We've never seen an imperfect version of his kind of sage mode. Anyway, the theory, or at least the most popular one, and that I agree with, is that Hashirama is more in tune with nature. And as we can see this, why he could siphon chakra from the tailed beast. He can use the Buddha statue. He can create these large amounts of things with his wood, using the earth, and being more in tune with the trees. He basically uses the environment to his advantage. So since he doesn't have the practical training of a toad, he doesn't have a toad summoning, nor does he have any sage summoning regardless. He doesn't have a sage summoning regardless to a toad, to a snake, or to a monkey. We know Hiruzen has a summoning. Tobirama doesn't have a summoning. Minato has a summoning. Tsunade has a summoning. That's a slug. Kakashi has a summoning. Jiraiya and Naruto has a summoning. All these presumed sage users, or at least nature energy users. Hashirama has no such things. So with him being able to siphon chakra, and even the siphon chakra from the nine-tailed beast quite easily, I may add, he can do that with the nature energy and from just pumping himself with more power within his sage mode. Now, there's also another assumption that Kishimoto probably had a plan on to explain his sage mode in filler. The thing is, we probably just wouldn't regard it as canon since that. And plus, most filler characters, or at least filler/canon characters like Hagoromo, still learn their sage mode from Mount Miyamoto. That's crazy to think about. But Hashirama is easily able to siphon energy from the environment, siphon energy from the tailed beast, as we see. So he may have just self-taught himself sage mode. Now, he of course makes an example of this is sage mode. He does name it sage mode. He doesn't call it anything else outstandingly, but he doesn't make comments about Naruto sage mode, about Minato sage mode, even though Minato sage mode just sticks out. And he never met Kabuto and or Jiraiya when they engaged in sage mode activities. So yeah, Hashirama like that. He self-taught himself sage mode. Maybe that's why his markings are so different, because he siphons from the environment itself without the practical training of what might have been a Mount Miyamoto, a snake sage mode. So yeah, there's that. That is basically my explanation for it. That's the most popular explanation for it. I wholeheartedly agree with it, that he just stumbled upon it while meditating for battle, as we don't know how long he had the sage mode. Of course, he didn't have it as a kid. He got it when he was an adult, engaging in various battles with Madara. So he just stumbled upon it. And remember, Hashirama, outside of Ashura and Naruto, is a protege onto himself, and has always been stronger than Madara, and always has been one step ahead of Madara. So it's not far-fetched to say that he just stumbled upon it. He is one of the more overpowered. He's the strongest character outside of any 6 paths users. Once you hit the 6 paths, Jubito, Jubidara, those ridiculous people, that's where Hashirama caps out at. So I agree with that theory. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know other theories you've heard. That's the most popular one, and I agree with it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you later.